share and not only make a donation, but you can ask your friends for donations as well. You can have your own personal red kettle set up that you can send out to different individuals. I have one friend, Rick, and I will say his last name, so I'll give him his anonymous nature, but Rick started a volunteer red kettle about a week and a half ago, and he's already raised about $1,600 from virtual friends just putting money into that kettle. So amazing what can take place just when you give people the opportunity to give.
Absolutely, that's another way that you can volunteer and give. Just check out virtualredkettle.org, and there's ways that you can give back there. And then if you are going to go and visit the brick and mortar stores, you don't even need to put your hands on money. You can scan the QR code. There'll be a QR code available, and do it all digitally with your phone, even though you're standing right there. And I hear you'll still get a bell ring.
That's right. Every red kettle stand, right on the stand, right where the big red shield is, has a QR code or a Google thing where you can put your phone up and do Google Pay through it as well, and then you can select how much you want to give. And so our bell ringers will be out there ringing their bell and saying thank you and passing on that Christmas cheer to you, whether you give electronically or through the traditional cash and change methods.
And it's the Red Kettle campaign. You can donate in person at the Red Kettle, get change, you can get cash, you can get checks, you can give a gold doubloon if you like. You can even pay with your phone using the QR code that's available. You can donate online at virtualredkettle.org, and all that money stays right here local in the area. You can also donate your time becoming a volunteer, because they could use help with the with the bell ringing and packing and sorting, and we'll get to that in just a moment. Volunteer.usawest.org. And so speaking of the packing and the sorting, so once all of these items have come in, around December 15th, you're going to start to get them all collated and put together. You'll need people to help do all of that. And then when is the distribution date as well?
So the distribution dates are the December 19th, the biggest one is December 20th, and then what we call it the makeup one is December 21st. So we are passing out toys for 3 days straight, and we need volunteers that are there to help run toys out to cars, volunteers in advance that can help us sort and organize and make sure all of our toys and all our families are lined up and ready to go. So it's a big job, but we have an army of volunteers that usually comes together every year, and we would love to have more to help people out this Christmas.
Yeah, that's going to be a big endeavor, getting all of that sorted out and distributed. But I know that people always love that, and I want to go back to the Give a Tree campaign that you're doing, because this has been going on for over a decade itself. California Backyard has 4 different locations around the Sacramento region, and they will collect gently used artificial trees at their 4 different locations. Now, by gently used, we mean there's no missing parts, and the box is there, and it can all be secured back into the box or in a very tightly bound bag if needed. And then once they've collected them all, they will get them to the Salvation Army, and then the Salvation Army will give them out on distribution. Now, as part of a thank you from California Backyard, they'll give you 10% discount on a new tree, which is very gracious of them. But the special part about this is there are some families who show up in distribution, and they know that they're going to be getting some presents and things that have been brought to them by the elves, if you will. But then some of these families also get a Christmas tree, and I know in years past, with the stories of these children, their faces just completely light up. It's not something that they expected, but it's something that they very much appreciate.
You really are able to deliver kind of that whole magical thing of Christmas. There'll be a tree, there'll be presents under the tree, and there'll be food in the fridge from the food that we give them as well. So they really have that whole magical, beautiful experience of Christmas. And so really, it's a giving of joy to individuals that are in need. And it's such a great gift that we can share this holiday season.
Speaking with Major Rio Ray, commanding officer of the Sacramento metro area with the Salvation Army Del Oro Division, and it is the holiday season. This great partnership with Fox 40 and the Angel Tree program is something that you can get involved with at myangeltree.org. Lots of great information there. You can also make donations there. And then the Red Kettle campaign, you'll see the bell ringers out and about all over, and please make your donation, because it really goes a long way towards helping individuals and families in the Sacramento area. You have great partnerships with all kinds of fantastic organizations all over the region, and
us to do all the things that really are kind of the pulse of the Salvation Army. So whether your desire is to come and volunteer and help put together food boxes or help restock the self-select pantry, that's a wonderful gift. If it's helping out at the shelter with serving individuals that are in need, it's helping tutor kids, or maybe you're being a volunteer basketball coach for one of our basketball leagues. There's plenty of opportunities to volunteer in the Salvation Army. So maybe Christmas is the way that you first get your feet wet and you try volunteering, but please know that we are a Salvation Army that operates 365 days a year. There's always some Salvation Army program open somewhere, and we always are looking for volunteers that are able to work alongside us to help make our programs great.
Excellent. Lots of opportunities for people who want to get involved and participate in the community. And Major Rio Ray, Commanding Officer of the Sacramento Metro Area with the Salvation Army Del Oro Division, thank you so much for your time today. I appreciate it. Is there anything else that you'd like listeners to know about?
Everyone has something to give. Some people can give money, some people can give time, some can just pause and give a moment of prayer to help out the efforts of the Salvation Army. But we all have something to give, and so know that this holiday season that you can give something and that it will help and bless people that are in need.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you for having me.
Talk about the importance of saving for post-secondary education and training. The cost of higher education is a big concern for many families. It's expensive and the costs keep going up. Thankfully, there is a cost-effective way to plan and save for your future, no matter your age. Joining us today to discuss ScholarShare 529 is Executive Director of the ScholarShare Investment Board, Julio Martinez. Hello, Julio. Thank you for joining us today.
Hi, Jerome. Thank you for having me on.
Absolutely, and it's a pleasure to have you back on. And this program is great. It allows people to save for their futures, and the added benefit is that it is a tax-free program.
That is correct. ScholarShare 529 has been around since 1999, and back since then, it's been designed to really help families prepare financially and save for future higher education costs in a tax-advantaged way. So the most important benefit associated with ScholarShare 529 is precisely that. So if families earn money and have earnings over that time, those earnings are actually tax-free both at the federal and state level, and so long as those money are used for their intended purposes, which is really for higher education.
Now, when we say intended purposes, this is not only to pay for your tuition, but this would help you pay for a laptop computer, your books, your room and board fees, and those sorts of things as well.
That is correct. ScholarShare 529 is designed to be really flexible and be applied for, a number of costs. And you mentioned some of them. So you're talking about room and board, tuition, fees, books, computer equipment, and nowadays even Wi-Fi. So a lot of things that are really necessary for students to get through their higher education programs.
What about if you have already gone through a schooling program and you have accumulated some debt from past education? Can you use the ScholarShare 529 money to pay off that old debt?
529 programs like ScholarShare 529 have been expanded over time, and so more recently, you're right, there has been some changes in the law that allow for unused money to be used in a number of ways. So, for example, if you have money that you just have left over after you finish your program or your child finishes their program, you can actually use it for up to $10,000 in one of your children's, if they have student loan debt, for example, right? You can also transfer it over to a family member. Any member within your family, you can just roll it over to their account, and you can even use it for yourself. And so, for example, if you have an unfinished degree, or you've always thought about getting your degree in the first place, or even getting the master's program for yourself or your significant other, you can definitely do that as well. So these programs are really designed to be flexible and used in a number of situations. And, in Congress, they're always looking at ways of making the 529 plan even more appealing and more flexible for families.
Well, that's one of the great benefits that you just mentioned there, is that so if I had one of those accounts for myself and I've gone through all of my schooling and I've taken care of everything that I need to, I can now take the balance that I have and transfer that to, say, my children, and they can now take benefit from that on top of their own account.
That is correct. And families should also not, worry about whether or not their children will go to college or whether or not they themselves will use money for, for higher education. After all, these monies that are being saved in these accounts, they're made with after-tax dollars, right? So, families have already paid their taxes on these monies. And so the principle is theirs, right? So families can withdraw these monies at any time, even if it's not for college. And so we don't want families worrying about, whether or not their children will go to college and whether or not they will experience some difficulty in withdrawing those monies. The only thing is, though, is that in those earnings, if there are any earnings with that savings, they will get taxed and they will get penalized on those earnings, but only on the earnings. The principal, like I mentioned before, these were made with contributions after tax. So that's really the money of families, and so we don't want families to kind of become that. We don't want that to become a concern for families. We encourage them to save as much as they can. And again, Scholarshare 529 was designed to be as flexible as possible for families, and we want them to feel comfortable when they start using this vehicle for that purpose.
Speaking with Julio Martinez, Executive Director of the Scholarshare Investment Board, and you can check out more information about what this program is at scholarshare529.com, scholarshare529.com. And when people go to the site, what are the steps that they're going to take to go ahead and get themselves signed up for an account? This should only take about 15 minutes.
Yes, opening a Scholarshare 529 account.
About 15 minutes.
Yes, opening a Scholarshare 529 account.
About 15 minutes.
Yes, opening a Scholarshare 529 account.
About 15 minutes.
Yes, opening a Scholarshare 529 account.
About 15 minutes.
Yes, opening a Scholarshare 529 account.
About 15 minutes.
Yes, opening a Scholarshare 529 account.
About 15 minutes.
Yes, opening a Scholarshare 529 account.
About 15 minutes.
Yes, opening a Scholarshare 529 account.
About 15 minutes.
Yes, opening a Scholarshare 529 account.
About 15 minutes.
Yes, opening a Scholarshare 529 account.
About 15 minutes.
Yes, opening a Scholarshare 529 account.
About 15 minutes.
Yes, opening a Scholarshare 529 account.
About 15 minutes.
Yes, opening a Scholarshare 529 account.
About 15 minutes.
Yes, opening a Scholarshare 529 account.
About 15 minutes.
Yes, opening a Scholarshare 529 account.
About 15 minutes.
Yes, opening a Scholarshare 529 account.
About 15 minutes.
Yes, opening a Scholarshare 529 account.
About 15 minutes.
Yes, opening a Scholarshare 529 account.
About 15 minutes.
Yes, opening a Scholarshare 529 account.
About 15 minutes.
Yes, opening a Scholarshare 529 account.
About 15 minutes.
Yes, opening a Scholarshare 529 account.
About 15 minutes.
Yes, opening a Scholarshare 529 account.
About 15 minutes.
Yes, opening a Scholarshare 529 account.
About 15 minutes.
Yes, opening a Scholarshare 529 account.
About 15 minutes.
Yes, opening a Scholarshare 529 account.
About 15 minutes.
Yes, opening a Scholarshare 529 account.
About 15 minutes.
Yes, opening a Scholarshare 529 account.
About 15 minutes.
Yes, opening a Scholarshare 529 account.
About 15 minutes.
Yes, opening a Scholarshare 529 account.
About 15 minutes.
Yes, opening a Scholarshare 529 account.
About 15 minutes.
Yes, opening a Scholarshare 529 account.
About 15 minutes.
Yes, opening a Scholarshare 529 account.
About 15 minutes.
Yes, opening a Scholarshare 529 account.
About 15 minutes.
Yes, opening a Scholarshare 529 account.
About 15 minutes.
Yes, opening a Scholarshare 529 account.
About 15 minutes.
Yes, opening a Scholarshare 529 account.
About 15 minutes.
Yes, opening a Scholarshare 529 account.
About 15 minutes.
Yes, opening a Scholarshare 529 account.
About 15 minutes.
Yes, opening a Scholarshare 529 account.
About 15 minutes.
Yes, opening a Scholarshare 529 account.
About 15 minutes.
Yes, opening a Scholarshare 529 account.
About 15 minutes.
Yes, opening a Scholarshare 529 account.
About 15 minutes.
Yes, opening a
Lincoln to Woodland. Breaking news, traffic, and weather. KSBK, Sacramento News Radio.
My name is Lola Silvestri, and I'm going to be 95 this year. I was very independent. I fell, and I had to have meals on wheels. America, let's do lunch.
One in 6 seniors faces to threat of hunger, and millions more live officials announcing I-10 will reopen ahead of schedule and before that Thanksgiving rush. Authorities determining the fire to be an act of arson, releasing images of a person of interest wearing a hoodie and a knee brace, saying he appeared to have visible burn injuries on his left leg. The blaze snarled traffic on one of the country's busiest interstates. 300,000 Angelinos using every single day.
On a possible mini ceasefire and release of hostages, representatives of the family saying that there has been significant progress, but no deal yet. ABC's Patrick Revel in Israel.
Israel releasing video showing a drone entering what they say is a Hamas tunnel 30 feet below ground in the hospital compound, saying that tunnel had a glass door and firing hole, claiming Hamas ran a command center underneath, which they deny. The World Health Organization sending a team inside, describing it as a death zone. Among the patients, nearly 3 dozen premature babies removed from incubators after electricity ran out. 31 of those babies finally evacuated to a hospital in southern Gaza.
Former First Lady Rosalind Carter has died. She was 96, married to former President Jimmy Carter, 77 years. He granted an interview a few years back to ABC's Steve Osunsami.
He said more than once that she was the most important decision of his life, and that she was the smartest decision of his life. He called her his secret weapon, that she was very much a part of his success and, of course, his president.
Elected to the presidency today in Argentina, a populist, Javier Milei. You're listening to ABC News.
California's capital city now trending on KFBK, Sacramento's news radio.
At the Democratic Convention in Sacramento, stands frustration, the convention ending today. And not before talks of the Israeli-Hamas war. Pro-Palestinian protesters shut down Saturday evening events. This spring, rumors were swirling that Herb, one of California's largest cannabis distribution companies, was on the verge of collapse. 1 month later, the company filed for bankruptcy. Those in the industry said suppliers, or lack of big ones, led to the demise of Herbal, which last year sold more than $700 million in cannabis and cannabis products alone. It is a sight to see monarch butterflies fluttering along the coast. Those living west of the Rockies migrate to the coast of central and southern California. Migration of the monarchs is not an uncommon phenomenon. I'm Phil Ferraro.
Now, Sacramento traffic.
Starting at Citrus Heights, this is westbound 80 at Antelope Road. We have a crash. This is involving a school bus and a car. It is off to the right shoulder, but traffic very slow in the area as cars are trying to get around this crash. Other than that, things looking good on the Cap City Freeway. No problems. If you're headed eastbound between the Highway 50, 99 split and Cal Expo. Traffic on the 10s every 10 minutes, mornings and afternoons from the KFBK Traffic Center. Joe Salvatore, KFBK News Radio, 93.1 FM, 1538.
Now, Sacramento weather.
Early lows will be between 43 and 47. A lot of sunshine for tomorrow. Highs will be between 63 and 67. Chilly tomorrow night with some clouds. Lows will be in the upper 30s and low 40s. I'm AccuWeather meteorologist Brian Thompson on KFBK, Sacramento's News Radio.